What's up, guys? This time on Legacy 4x4 we're making a engine cage gusset. We're basically just adding a big cage hoop to the front clip, and we're making it removable. That way, once I inevitably have to pull the engine out, we can just plop this bad boy right off. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get to it. What's up, guys? Matt, Legacy 4x4. This time we're gonna work on a removable cage harness to gusset this whole front clip together for the tuggy buggy. Pretty stoked with it. Gonna use hand tools and a cheap Harbor Freight pipe bender, so we'll make it work. Okay, let's talk basic design. We're looking at the tuggy buggy. It's my rock crawling tube chassis I picked up as a used project from somebody else. I originally picked the chassis up as a very rusty, sat outside for a few years DOM bare bones chassis, and have since doubled the tube work on the chassis to make it a rock lizard based rock crawling machine. There's obviously still a long ways to go for the tuggy buggy. It is a unfinished project, but that's the platform we're working on. And one of the last things in terms of cage work that this buggy needs is the structural rigidity of the front clip, which is going to come from this engine gusset. So basic design, we're going to shoot 2 tubes from the center of that apex right there, the center line of the entire rig. Bring them out, curve them around, and then put 1 crossbar right here. I think it'll look nice, as well as provide a lot of structural rigidity going left and right, as well as tie the whole thing together. So that's the way we're gonna do it. That's the simple design we're gonna go with. We're going to accomplish this task using my cheap hydraulic pipe bender from Harbor Freight. It's the cheapest one you can buy. I've got mine mounted on a 2x4 stand, which doesn't really work, but it keeps it up high. That way I don't have to bend over and use it or put it on a table or anything. Obviously, as you can tell, it has seen better days, but we'll make it work. The first step I'm gonna do is take some rough measurements from that point to that point and cut out a rough piece of steel that I know will have extra length on both tail ends. If I was really smart, I'd be like my brother and plan this out all in CAD or SolidWorks, and then just have BinTech Pro print me off a nice little organized instruction sheet to how to make this tube. But Jake's not with me, so we're gonna make do with what we have, and what we have are my own 2 hands and you know, my tools. So let's get to it. I'll take some rough measurements, and then we can come back and lay things in place and talk about how we're gonna notch and the whole 9 yards. The end on this side over here, we can leave no meat on, because that's just gonna get notched to that removable section right there. And I guess I should probably tell you guys about these removable sections. These removable sections are a kit. Lots of companies make them. Not sure where I got these from. These are just the cheapest and quickest ones on Amazon. Most companies make them a little thicker than this. This is probably about 1/4 inch thickness, but at the end of the day, this should do just fine. They're really easy to use. There's just 6 set screws, so you take it apart, set them around the tube, and then you know, tighten the screws. So super simple to use. That's what I'm going to use to build this removable gusset. We're going to use 3 of them. So yep, that's what these are. Back to talking about how we're going to set up the bins and the notches in this. We're going to go ahead and notch the end on the A-pillar side. We're going to leave about 1 to 1.5 inches of material there to allow for a nice clean notch. That notch is also going to run the spine of the other one as well, so you'll see that when we get there. Now, in terms of deciding where we want to bin, so in terms of the bins we're gonna have to make 2 bins. We're gonna have to make a horizontal bin going from right to left on, you know, the passenger side, left to right, on the driver's side, you get it. And then we're also gonna have to make a vertical bin going from the top of this plane down to where it's going to mount right here. So I want to do the horizontal bin first. So since I'm using my pipe bender, there has to be enough room between each of the bins for it to line up on the rollers. So there's going to be a little bit of distance, so it might not look as pretty as a real tube bender could make it look, but it'll be functional. So that's what we're going to go with. For me, the way I do this is I slowly make changes, I slowly make measurements, and I slowly get there. I try not to overshoot anything. That way I can get one side perfect, and then I just mimic on the other side. So definitely takes more time, definitely not as efficient as, you know, a modeling system or having the right tools, but I have some tools that can get the job done. So if I was going to remake this whole chassis, I definitely wouldn't want to do it with my pipe bender, pipe kinker. But you know, just for one little project, it'll work. I'll make it do. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and make my horizontal bend right here with this valve cover bolt. That's gonna be my reference point to make the horizontal bend. And then as close as I can get for the vertical bend is where I'm gonna put the vertical bend. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of bend in this piece of steel right here. This is plenty long to you know, reach this side over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a bend in this, and we'll see how things start lining up. And you know, we'll just take it back to the bender if it doesn't line up, and we'll just repeat that process until I'm happy with the fit. I guess before I show you guys the bender, I'll show you how I make my quick first reference bend. All I do, you know, you could do this with a protractor, mechanical, or digital angle finder. It really doesn't matter. But for me, I'm gonna take this piece of cardboard with this nice little paint yellow line marked on it, lay that flat with the tube, so we got that vertical section running with the tube, and then the diagonal section will run all the way to my mount. So that's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to adjust for a you know, first rough bend, and then we'll play the rest by ear. All right, there's probably no right way to use this pipe bender, but you know, you just make it work. All you do is throw the rollers in as wide as you want the bend to be. You know, the tighter those rollers are on the mounts, the easier you're gonna kink the pipe. So I usually like to play it about right here. It gives it a nice soft bend, and I kind of know by feel when the pipe's gonna kink. So that's the way I do it. And you know, you just get cranking away. And if we're gonna go by my rough, you know, beer math template, we have this bend right where my thumb is right here. So all I do is eyeball it, line it up, and then I make sure those lines match up with the tails of the pipe. And I know that one's gonna be pretty close to a good rough estimate. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out and see where it lines up. And you know, just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Actually, I stand corrected. It looks like the redneck fabrication gods are smiling upon me today. Looks like we're not gonna have to do that vertical bend. There's enough meat in that clamp where I can just mount it a little lower, angled down, and it lines up pretty well. So we can look at this mount right here on the front side. We're right in the middle of the clamp. Really happy with how that lines up. Plenty of tail left on this one to make adjustments. As for the front one, we are lined up perfectly on the passenger side of that clamp. So happy with that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and mark out some notches for where I want everything. Notch this tube first, bring it back up, and then we can notch this tube after that one's notched. That way we don't have any you know, weird errors that happen just from notching. The way I'm gonna notch this tube is, I know this is 1.5 inch tube, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark the center line exactly where I want it to be notched at the perfect angle, and I know that will be the deepest spot. And then I'll just take 3/4 of an inch from this corner, rotate it up 90, right about there, and you know, drop that down 3/4 of an inch, and I'll have a perfect notch. So that's the way I'll notch it. I'm gonna take that over to the plasma cutter, get a little hand notch in that, bring it back, and then we can notch the front side, and we'll call this side done. And before we weld that in, we'll make a little mimic copy of it, mirror it to the other side, and we can get the 2 long sections done pretty quick. Let's talk notching. Plenty of ways to skin this cat on notching. You can do it with a hand grinder, you can do it with a tube notching jig. Plenty of ways to do it. I like using the plasma cutter because I'm lazy and the plasma cutter is very quick.
There you go, GoPro just came back. I'm still recording.
Oh, are you? What for? Cuz?
I don't know. I don't really know how to turn it off, so.
All right, so that's how the notch turned out on the A-pillar side. Plenty of room for the other tube over there. So next thing we're gonna do, Ryder, say hi.
Hi.
Next thing we're gonna do is make the notch for the front side. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this completely to that front side clamp, and then I'll put the cross section attaching to the tube itself, not the clamp. So that's the way we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that notch out and notch it the same way. All right, excuse the air compressor, but that's how that notch turned out. I'm happy with it, it'll work. That side as well. Now that I'm happy with this bend, I'm gonna go ahead and make a mimic of this angle right here with some more steel. Tack this in, and then I'll go mess with the making the other side match perfectly with notching. So nothing to it but rinse and repeat. So I said that in the beginning, it's a lot of doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go rinse and repeat. And we're back. Let's check on our progress. We got both those bars tacked in. Everything attaches to the middle. They both swing out to the edge of the front clip. Only thing we're missing now is gonna run a crossbar between that point right there and that point right there. And that's just gonna add some more structural rigidity right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get a piece of tube, cut it to about the right length, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just do some notches to get it in place. So almost the same thing as before, just different kind of notch. Man, it's pretty out, and man, I'm making good progress. This was about another 60 seconds of work just to plasma cut this quick thing out and tack it in. And that's the final design. That's what we're gonna go with. Really like the way it looks. Should be structurally pretty strong, and it should add all of the front clip strength that I'm looking for. Okay, got everything removed. Nothing else to do now besides do a nice full weld pass and all this stuff. Maybe clean up some of these gaps a little bit, and yeah. I'm gonna burn this in, and we're gonna put it back in, hope that it goes back in and it fits. All right, guys, there's how all the final welds turned out. Could have been prettier. You know, there's a little bit of gaps there. It's a little uneven, so here's what it is. It's gonna be sturdy though, so you know, a strong weld's still a good weld. Welders weld it, whatever you want to say. But that's all of it. So that's the engine hoop sitting by itself. Next step is we're gonna let this cool down, because I just finished welding, and then we're gonna hit it with a little bit of primer. And then we're also going to hit it with a little bit of the same paint that's on the chassis, this Rust-Oleum metallic forest green. So that's what we're going to go with. Hey guys, what are you doing? Munching? Okay. Anyways, we're finished. Final product reveal. Everything is in and painted. And I hate to say it, but if you look directly at those two right there, it's kind of slightly skewed. I mean, I'll just call that the fault of the, you know, pipe kinker. Can't really fix it. That's, I mean, it's end of the day, it's my fault, but I'll just blame it on the pipe kinker. Not too worried about it. When it's all moving around, you can't see, you won't be able to see really what's straight and flush and what's not straight and flush, so I'm not too worried about it. I did have to paint over while everything was hot because I'm too impatient to wait, so paint's not great on the weld sections, but it's there. Probably hit it with another coat once everything's in place anyways, so is what it is. That's kind of how it looks. Try and get you guys some good angles for it. Bird's eye view walking around. Yep, that's the front engine gusset. That way, if we roll over or we hit something really sharply on that front clip, the whole thing doesn't just bend. Now there's some structure left and right, as well as, you know, the rest of the tube work. So really happy with it. And yes, I can still get my valve cover oil fill off, just barely. You gotta do a little jimmy to get it off, but it comes off. That was my test point, so I'm happy with it. Everything's gonna stay in place. There's also some other small things, like I mounted this on the tube where it's bent, so there's a little bit of gap on this side, but I'm not too worried about it. And if I was to do it again, I would definitely buy like Barnes or someone else's legit heavy duty clamps like these for tube work instead of just the cheap Amazon ones. These ones obviously worked, but those are really skinny screws in there, and I stripped my Allen keys to get it in. It's just a hassle. I'd rather have some real big, beefy, heavy duty, thick parts instead of that. I mean, if you save money and you cut corners, you get what you get, right? So I'm not going to change them because they're on, obviously, but if I had to do it again, I would just spend the extra money and get the beefier clamps. So I guess that's it. I guess I'm done ranting for that one. Really happy with the progress on this tuggy buggy. Everything's coming together, and hopefully, you know, in a few months it's running and driving. There's still a lot more to do. Like I got some 3/16 plate here for the truss, which is coming up next. So, you know, there's a lot more to do. Always working on projects on it, but every step forward is a good step for me, and I'm really happy with it. So that's it for that one, guys. I will catch you guys next time. I think I'm gonna go ride a horse or something.